The Purple Panther Preschool is a creative learning environment for both the preschoolers who attend and the high schoolers that are beginning their journeys towards careers in education. Our colorful space encourages exploration of fine and gross motor skills, language, life skills, and creativity. Unique, student-created lesson plans help develop these skills, and our 1-to-2 high schooler to preschooler ratio ensures that each and every child is in a safe and fun environment.
Welcome to another edition of EYe on Education. I'm Ed Leicius, and today we're celebrating. It's the holidays, but we're celebrating a 50th anniversary. The Purple Panther Preschool. 50 years ago. The official celebration was held earlier in the month, and we have with us the Purple Panther Preschool coordinator and teacher, Nicole Robinson.
Yes.
Nicole, welcome to EYe on Education.
Thank you for having me.
You're a Nashua native.
I am.
You're a graduate of the Purple Panther Preschool and
Yes.
a historic graduation
Yes.
in 05, the split
Yes.
class.
Yep, I was the first graduating class of the split.
How about that?
Yes.
And never thought you'd be back.
Never in a million years thought I'd be back in the high school.
What drew you into the field of preschool education?
So my mother has always taken care of children in our home, since I was about a year old. And I was just always around children and learned to just love every aspect of them. As I grew older, I enjoyed it more and more. And then the opportunity came in high school that I was able to take the Careers in Education class. And so by participating in that more often and having the experiences I did, really drew me to this is what I want to do. Although when I graduated, I didn't think that at first. And I ended up taking a job in Nashua at one of the child cares, and then ended up going down to Westford to work in a child care center and later becoming a preschool teacher. And then as soon as the opportunity came to be a director and teacher at the Purple Panther Preschool, I took that opportunity. Didn't necessarily think I'd get the job, but I did, and I couldn't be happier.
And here you are today.
Here I am today.
So 50 years ago, and we were talking before coming on the air, it started in Nashua.
Yep.
At Nashua High,
Yep.
we think.
Yep.
Which would have then been Elm Street.
Correct.
But you're doing research and you're working with Dean Shalhoub from the Telegraph to
Yes.
try to see what they can pull up to find the exact date and location.
Correct.
But we're presuming
Yes.
it was Elm Street.
Yes.
And then when the new high school was built, it moved over there.
Yep.
And when the high schools were rebuilt and the new North was added, the program remained at South, but both North and South have students in the program.
Correct. Yep. Part of the Nashua Technology Center. So students from both high schools can participate in careers in technical education courses at either high school. And one of ours happens to be careers in education.
How many kids in the program right now?
We have 60 high schoolers, and I think we can have up to 60. And we have Careers in Ed 1 and Careers in Ed 2. So after they complete the Careers in Ed 1 class, working in the preschool, they then get to move on to Careers in Ed 2 and work in the elementary schools in the Nashua community.
What's the prerequisite for a student getting into the
There
career program?
are no prerequisites. We encourage students to take child growth and development, but it's not required. We do teach development in the class, and all we ask is that you just have some sort of interest. You think you have an interest in working with children, whether it be we have students who want to be pediatricians, psychologists. They want to be speech pathologists all over the field. It doesn't have to be just working with children, teaching and preschool and things like that. So,
Males and females?
yes, we have both males and females. A lot of our males come in not sure if they are going to enjoy working with children and end up loving it. Some don't, but that's okay. And that's the same with females. They don't always enjoy, once they get started, they like being there, but it's not something they want to do in their future. And that's really what careers in education is about. It's about exploring what you do and maybe won't like. But then noticing that there's other opportunities within the field of education, whether in working with children, whether it being a pediatrician or special education. There's a wide range of what you can do with that field.
So a typical week, how many days a week do you have the children at the preschool?
So we have preschoolers a total of 4 days. We have 2 groups. We have a Monday and Wednesday class and a Tuesday, Thursday class, and they come from 7:45 to 12. We start at the end of September because we take the first month of school to really get to know our high school students and train them and to understand what a basic level of working with children is like and make sure they're appropriate for our programs. And then once we get started, we have our preschoolers come, and our high schoolers are usually chomping at the bit to be able to interact with those little guys.
So typical day.
Yep, typical day. So they come in first thing in the morning, 7:45. The high school students that are in our class at that time come and help us get the preschoolers out of the car, help us bring them right into the classroom, and they get to play for a little bit. And then our first group of high schoolers moves on to their second block class. We get our second block of high schoolers, and there's a little transition, but the preschoolers love it. They get excited waiting for the next group of teachers. Our high school students get to see a couple of circle activities being run, some table activities, teacher-directed activities, and then at the end of the day, our high school students will help us bring them back to the cars to dismiss. Our high schoolers get to experience a lot of fun childhood experiences, such as we do trick-or-treating. We just did that in October, where both preschool and high schoolers could dress up. We go trick-or-treating in the building, and our administrators and some other teachers help give candy to the preschoolers, and our high schoolers just love seeing that. We just did a Thanksgiving play for our preschoolers today where the high schoolers performed that. And then the holidays is a very special time. We make it very magical. We're going to be exploring different holidays such as Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, of course, Christmas. We do a Polar Express Day where we get to wear pajamas, and we turn our Careers in Education 1 class into a Polar Express room. We make a train, and everybody gets to wear pajamas. I'm the conductor. Sometimes my co-teacher Angela DeRushes. And it's just a lot of fun. Santa comes to visit.
Yeah, I understand that
yes.
Santa is a very familiar individual
Yes.
at South.
Santa is a very
may
familiar.
occupy one of the main offices
He
there.
does. He occupies the main office. He's the head honcho there. And actually, he's working on growing his little beard. I like to tease him about that. But yes, he comes, and he's such a great Santa for us. He was actually a preschooler, Purple Panther preschooler himself when he was of that age, Keith Richard, and now he helps us out by being Santa, and the magic is just unbelievable, both for the big kids and the little kids. The reaction from all angles is just amazing, and we do it for the kids, both preschool and high school, but we do it for to see the reaction. And not all students get to experience those kind of holiday experiences. And so, for a lot of high schoolers, that's something they never maybe got to experience, those fun little things. So just doing that and giving them a little piece of the magic really makes it all worth it.
Now, you're a graduate from the program.
Correct.
What do you recall? What was your kind of most favorite part about going there?
Oh, my goodness. Where to start? So I had Judy Loftus both years because we were at North. We bounced back and forth my sophomore, junior, and senior year. So my junior year, we were at North, and Judy Loftus was over there. And so because we were they were doing construction, we didn't get to go over to Purple Panther. So we went out into the community and got to participate in 2 different child care classes. I don't remember what age groups I worked with, but I remember loving it. And then the second year, we got to go to the elementary schools, and I got to go to my home school, Sunset Heights. And actually, that's where I learned that I love working with special education students, those with intellectual disabilities. So I got to do a dual experience. I worked with a speech pathologist and then a first grade teacher that actually I knew from elementary school. And I never had her. I wish I did. Her name was Deb Hill. And I still talk to her to this day. And both teachers that I worked with in the high school, at the elementary school, I still keep in touch with them. And they both helped me get to where I need to be. And, it's great support. And the Nashua teachers are amazing. And I have to say that because my school experience wasn't necessarily always the best, but I still talk to my 8th grade math teacher, Kathy Belanger. We're great friends to this day. And so I kind of look back on those experiences and think about how I want to portray that to my high school students as well, and preschool students. And hopefully one day they'll actually remember me.
And what kind of reaction to the high school kids that aren't in the program get, knowing that you've got these preschoolers there and it's a class that's being taught?
Yeah, so what's great is we try to make ourselves known in the high school. So we take the preschoolers out into the high school community a lot because not everybody knows where we are or that we exist. I mean, you can talk to a random high schooler in the building and they will say, I have no idea where the preschool is, because we're just tucked away. We're like, we call ourselves the hidden gem. And so when we do like trick-or-treating, we get great reactions from the high school students who don't have us. And sometimes we end up getting some of those students. And so we make sure we get out there and make ourselves known. We're always walking around in the building. We will go to the library. We just walk around. We don't care if we're being stared at. Some high schoolers, you never know how they're going to react. And it's just great to see their faces light up. And even those ones that you're not too sure how they're going to react, they always make that little comment, oh, look how cute they are, or they smile. And, we aim to please. We want to make their day too. So.
Now, for people who are watching today's program, how does a parent go about, if they're interested, getting their child into the program?
Sure. So we enroll. You do not have to be a Nashua resident. However, if you are, it does help your child to get to know some potential students that they'll be going to elementary school with. But we start enrolling in February for the following school year. And you can email me or call me. You can go on the nashua.edu website and you will find us. But you can also call me at 603-966-1141. And my email address is always on the website as well. And we also have our own website, purplepantherpreschool.weebly.com. And you can find out more information about our program as well. We've never had to advertise, which has been great.
Really?
I've been there this is my 10th year, and I've never had to put a flyer out or make phone calls or anything like that. It's all been word of mouth. And I believe that's how it's mostly been run, is mostly word of mouth. We've been very fortunate. And this year, we actually were full to the point that we had a waiting list, and that hasn't happened since pre-COVID. So that was great.
Well, I know that our youngest daughter
Yep.
Was a graduate back in 1989.
Okay.
And it worked out well because my wife was teaching at the high school then, and
Yep.
She was just like a hallway away.
Yes, we do have some high school teachers that enroll their children. Children have to be 3 by September 30th of that year. But we have one teacher that brings her child down this year. We also had her son a couple of years ago. And we've had many high school children come down. And it's really nice because, like you said, they're just a hallway away. They can pop in anytime they want. We do have an open door policy for all parents with a two-way mirror that anybody can come and observe. I shouldn't say anybody. Your child has to be in the program. But it's really a great feature, and it's a great way to get our name out there.
You mentioned COVID.
Yes.
We all know of the challenges that all of the teachers
Yep.
and students
Yep.
had during the COVID years.
Yep.
How was that challenge for you in your program?
So it was a very unique experience because, as you can imagine, doing preschool online with 3 to 4-year-olds is very interesting. So when we first shut down, we did go online. We, of course, had like everybody else, no idea what we were doing. So we just threw it out there that anybody who wanted to join us on Zoom once a week was more than welcome to. And we ran mini circles. So we read a story, we sang songs, sometimes just had conversations with them. And in actuality, it was pretty cute. It was great. We saw a different side of those kids. Some of them who were of the shyer side in the classroom were willing to speak more on the screen. We had children put their computers or laptops or iPads in the dryer. We had one little girl do that one year. Her mom was a teacher. And we told her to go get her mom because her computer did not belong in the dryer. We had children that figured out how to take over Zoom and unmute themselves or draw on the screen. So that was the beginning of COVID, but then we were able to, that fall, we were able to go back into the building. So we ended up starting at the end of September of, I believe it was 2020. And we could only have a small group. So we decided that instead of doing 4 days a week with just 10 kids, we did 2 days a week, 2 different groups with 10 kids. Now we usually have 20 kids, so you can imagine how different it was having 10. I have to say it was amazing. It was a much different aspect, but we learned that we liked having our program twice a week at 4 hours a day. It's still the same amount of hours they would have got coming 4 days a week, but we learned a lot, and we noticed also when our high school students were able to come back in that they were getting a little more out of it by having a longer span with the kids, in the sense that when we were only doing 2 hours a day, they didn't get quite as long with the preschoolers, so now they get a little bit longer. But knock on wood, we never had one COVID case. We were very diligent. We wanted to make sure that these kids got to still come in the building, and we had enrolled for the fall that year to have a full class. So we surveyed our parents, and majority of them had pulled out, so it worked out that we were able to do 2 classes of 10. And it was amazing. We kind of tweaked our program a little bit, and that's how we're running now. And we've wondered sometimes, how come we never did that before? How come we never ran this schedule and type of, the way we run our classroom with the high schoolers before? And as much as we did not like COVID, it was kind of a rewarding experience from us. It really changed how we viewed our teaching. That even though we love our job, we appreciated it that much more. Seeing what it was like to be on a computer with these kids and then bringing them back in the building. We find even our high school students are cherishing that, being in the classroom a little bit more.
Nothing like that personal face-to-face contact.
Exactly. And I think we couldn't bring the high schoolers on with the preschoolers online as much as we wanted to, but I think they noticed the big difference of the power of being face-to-face. That social cues are important. You missed that with the mask, because we did have masks for a little while, and that was the other thing, we had masks. So we thought the preschoolers would struggle with that. They were pros. We never had to worry about it. So, but just like I was saying, students, I think, are really cherishing being able to see facial expressions.
Even adults are doing
even
that too.
Adults, even adults.
Besides yourself and the students, how many professional staff are involved in the program?
So in the preschool itself, we have 3, but we have 4 part of the Careers in Education program. So myself, Martine Cloutier, is the high school teacher. So if they're not in the preschool, they're in the high school classroom learning about child development. So she works with them. And then I have a co-teacher, Angela DeRusha, who's our special educator. We have 5 identified students and per class, and she helps with them, but we co-teach, so we teach all our kids, of course. So there's 3 of us that are part of the preschool, and then Judy Loftus teaches Careers in Ed 2. We still have her part of our team. Her Careers in Ed 2 students just participated in preschool, so they missed that experience, so we let them, kind of pop in sometimes and say hello. So we consider ourselves a team of 4. It all runs smoothly. We all support each other. 100%.
That's fantastic. It's and you had a big celebration.
We did, 50 years.
50 years. What happened there?
So we had a kind of an open house style celebration last Thursday, November 10th, from 3:30 to 5:30, and we had, of course, a big cake.
Of course.
Everybody likes cake. I like the frosting particularly. So do the children. I consider myself a child, and you can ask my colleagues; they do too sometimes, because I'm just that big kid. But it was great. We had both past preschool graduates from many years ago. We had Careers in Education graduates come back. We had preschool graduates that just left us 3 or 4 years ago come back. And so it was just great to see, that community. We consider ourselves a family down there. We really hone in on that with our high school students, that, you will enjoy each other by the end of the year, whether you think you will or not. And we consider ourselves a family. And they come back saying, you know what, we are a family. And we had many of them come back saying that the other night. I miss this family. That we love them. There's no other way to say it, and we really want to make sure that they're getting the best experience possible. And I think that showed by how many came back to just celebrate with us.
Now, have any idea as to how many of your students have gone on to go into the field? I know you went to Granite State College.
I went to Granite State College, yeah.
And are there programs around for them to take the next step coming out of Purple Panther?
Yep.
If they want to go in that
So when they
direction?
leave us, they can actually, when you take Careers in Ed 1 and Careers in Ed 2, you can take what's called Running Start. And so you can actually get some college credits before you even leave the high school. And it's through Nashua Community College, and you'll get a certificate at the end. So you will leave actually ready to go into a child care setting and be an associate teacher. So you're already leaving with a little bit, setting you up for your future, if that's the path you choose. But a lot of our students go to a lot of the New England schools, so like UNH, UMass Amherst, those schools. We have a lot of students who went to SNU, Southern New Hampshire University, and then we have some students that go further. We've had some that go to school in Florida. I can't remember all the schools,
Right.
but I'd say about 85 to 90% of our students, maybe a little bit lower, I'm not 100% sure, go on to pursue some sort of path working with children, whether it be, like I said, a pediatrician. We have students that go because they want to be high school teachers. We had a student leave because she wants to be a coach, but she wants to work with the lower age. So it all comes around, and they all come back and tell us, I shouldn't say all. Most of them come back and tell us what they're doing. And we actually have a few students who I was teaching my first year who were our high school teachers now in our high school. So it's really great, and they came down as well. So we have a very good graduation rate, and completers, a lot of our students do complete.
So anyone watching, they have a child that becomes 3 years old and would be eligible to go to the preschool.
Yep.
What should they do between now and next fall?
So if you have questions now, you can absolutely contact me at any time. I will get back to you as soon as possible because we do have preschool right now. But around February timeframe is when we actually start enrolling for the 2023-24 school year. And you can give us a call, email me, and we will start setting up tours around that time. And you can come. I always encourage families to come and see the facility before they sign up. We kind of actually don't even let you sign up until you come and see how amazing we are. It's great to just see the facility. We have a very unique facility. You won't really see it anywhere else. And I know because I've worked in the childcare setting. So, and I'm not just saying that because, I love our program, but we do. We have
It shows.
It shows. Yeah.
It shows. But,
yeah, it is very unique.
Well, Nicole, we want to thank you for being with us today and
Thank you.
celebrating 50 years
Yes,
of
excellent.
the Purple Panther Preschool.
Thank you very much.
And hopefully Dean will, through the archives of the Telegraph, find the exact location. And I think the odds are pretty good it was Elm Street because that was
Yes.
Nashua High
Yep.
back in the early 70s.
Yep.
And see what other nuggets he can dig up.
Exactly. That'd be great. We would love to see it.
All right. Well, thank you for being here on
Thank
iEye
you for having
Education.
me.
Our guest today has been Nicole Robinson. She's the Purple Panther Preschool Coordinator and Teacher, and you've been watching iEye Education. I'm Ed Leash, your host. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Purple Panther Preschool is an exciting, hands-on program offering developmentally appropriate curriculum in an inclusionary model classroom focusing on the whole child. We are recognized for our low child-to-teacher ratios and experienced staff. Purple Panther Preschool provides a real-life practicum site for high school students who are enrolled in the Careers in Education program through the Nashua Technology Center. We are located at Nashua High School South. We accept children ages 3 to 5. Space is limited. More information regarding our program can be found at the Nashua School District's website at www.nashua.edu or by calling and scheduling a tour. We are Nashua's hidden gem, serving our community's children for over 35 years. Come and visit us today.